I've been putting this review off for the past 2 months. 2 months. I'm talking about the Aerotank Mega. To sum it up, it's basically the same thing as previous Kanger products with a bow tie. It looks like a high-end device from the outside. Looks the tits. Kanger, gotta give it to you. You guys outdid yourself as far as the quality of machining and the quality of the materials used. A+ on that. But the problem is, even though this product looks the cat's meow, the performance is par. Perfect analogy for you. It's like looking at a Z06 Corvette shell with a V6 engine in it. The Z06 has that LS6 engine. You think it's gonna run 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. But really, it's got that V6 engine in there and it runs from 0 to 60 in about 8 or 9 seconds. This thing looks top notch, but does it vape top notch? No, it doesn't. Okay, vapes par, average, mouth to lung. Starting to get a dry hit already. Close her off a little bit, do a few primer puffs, get that juice flowing to the coil. Oh, by the way, these heads are dual coils set to 2 ohms. I've got her set to 12 watts on this 30 watt device. Now lung hits. I've got her wide open. Okay, first 2 hits, after closing it off and taking a few primer puffs to get that juice to the coil, those first 2 hits are good. And then after that, it starts to dry out a little bit. I gotta close her off again, take a few more primer puffs, get the juice flowing to the coil, and I'm good to go. But you see the performance. This device is for your mouth to lung hitters. You can still do your lung inhales, but it's really restrictive. I'll get into that in a little bit. But first we're gonna go over the cons. First con, the adjustable airflow on this device, subpar. The ring spins and spins and spins and spins. It doesn't ever lock into place. 2, just like I mentioned, this Clearo is for your mouth to lungers. I'm a lung hitter. Love my lung hits. Gotta have them. At its widest air hole setting, it's almost too restrictive. Kanger, open this sucker up. Golly, for the love of freaking panties. Flavor off this is okay. It's average. For a newbie, it's probably good. But for anybody else that's been in the game, that has been vaping on rebuildable devices, RDAs, RBAs, etc., you're gonna think the flavor is just okay. It's nothing special. Compared to the Nautilus, it's not as good. Now with the Nautilus coil head, you can only vape up to 10 watts max. With these, you can vape up to 12, 12.5 watts max. And still, the Nautilus is better, flavor-wise. IMO. Vapor production, it's okay. Once again, par. Really restrictive. This is wide open. Compared to the Nautilus, not even close. With the Nautilus, it just comes so much easier. The adjustable airflow on the Nautilus is so much better than the adjustable airflow on this device. You get more airflow on the Nautilus than you do with this. Next con, the coil heads. You guys know how I feel about the engineering of these coil heads, and that goes for all clearomizers, all bottom fed clearomizers. But the engineering, as long as the coil is sitting in your e-liquid, you're gonna have these same issues. Inconsistency. It's not efficient. The flavor is par. Sometimes it's better than others, but when it's better than others, the coil head's flooding and you're getting juice spitting in your mouth. You're drinking more juice than you're vaping. Or you're getting a dry, scratchy burnt hit. You got this beautiful product that performs at just an okay level. Very disappointing if you ask me. Next con, you cannot fill this thing up without having wasted space. I mean, we're wasting at least 1.5 mils to 2 mils. Hell, in my opinion, I think they've taken a negative step back when it comes to the ease of filling this thing. The first Pro Tank was super easy to refill. You just pop the base off, you had all this room and space. Stick your dropper in there, fill that sucker up. Now you don't even have that much space. You got this plate with the holes in there, and I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to mask the issue of flooding and this, that, and the other to make it just right, to make it just bland. But it doesn't work. It's it up, okay? It's messing everything up. Sorry, I get pissed. I can't help it, okay? I'm a perfectionist. I'm OCD when it comes to this stuff. Kanger, I'm sure you got the engineers. Fix it. It's not efficient. It's like masking the stink of a corpse by spraying cologne or perfume on it. Eventually, that stink is gonna come through, and it's gonna take over. A little rant. Now the pros. The machining and quality of the materials used for this are really good. When this first came to market, it caught my eye. It's made of food-grade stainless steel, comes with a Pyrex tank option and also a stainless steel tank option. The threads throughout this device are smooth. Tolerances are perfect. This Mega fits on all my mods and is compatible. So those are the pros and the cons. Now to the close-ups. Alrighty, so the Kanger Aerotank Mega. You've got the coil head, which we'll go over in a little bit. You've got the cap, tank 1, Pyrex, tank 2, stainless steel. You've got the upper base, you've got the lower base, and then you've got the drip tip. Now we're going to go ahead and assemble this bad boy. I'm going to be using the Pyrex tank today so you can see what's going on in here. It's clear and everything's easy to see. I'm going to take the coil head, screw it into the base. Make sure it's tight. Next step, I'm going to take the upper base, slide the Pyrex tank over this silicone ring. The threads from that shaft on the upper base are going to screw into the threads in this top cap. And that's going to seal over that silicone ring at the top. Make sure they're tight, tight, tight. Okay. There's that plate I was telling you about with the holes, and that's how you fill this sucker. This is supposed to hold 3.8 mils. So how you fill this sucker up, see that plate with the holes? You stick your syringe or your bottle nipple in that hole, you squirt your juice in there, and that's how it works. I'll fill her up till it's about right up to there. Take the base, just like that, screw her in. She's good to go. Now the issue is that you always have empty space. Because of this flat plate with the holes in it, you're going to have the empty space. They need to take that out. That way you can fill her up all the way. Drip tip, very similar to the K-Fun with a water bore. Pop that in there and we're good to go. See these notches? That's the widest hole, second, third, blah, 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 all the way down. So you have a little gauge. That's the widest. And as you slide it down, it thins out in there. You see that? And that's how it works. But the problem is, this thing just moves around everywhere. Okay? It doesn't click into place like your Nautilus. It's not efficient in my opinion, and I think they need to make this thing to where it's more wide open for your lung hitters. 510 threads, stainless steel connection. This is 100% food grade stainless steel with this Pyrex tank obviously, and she's a beaut. You've got your Kanger Aerotank logo on the side. An absolute beauty, but the way she performs is average. Here's the Mega with the stainless steel tank assembled. Again, she's an absolute beauty. Looks boss. Here is the coil head for the Aerotank Mega. As you can see, it's a 2 ohm dual coil head. We're gonna go ahead and disassemble this. I'm gonna show you guys what's inside here. You get your stem, and then your head, and then at the base, you get your pin with your rubber stopper. And the rubber stopper is definitely more of a silicone material. That pin comes out just like this. As you can see, you've got your 4 leads. Okay, 2 leads coming out the center, 2 coming out the outside. Oh, there's 1 coil, but as you can see, those coils and those wicks are covering the 2 holes on each side of this coil head. That's how the coils are sitting in those heads. See the silica in between both those coils? They're sitting on top of each other just like that. That's why with these heads you have the 2 holes that are on top of each other on each side versus 4 holes all around the head like with the Nautilus. Now you also notice that with these heads there's no filler material. It's just the wick and the coil that's covering these holes. So yeah, that's the coil head for the Aerotank Mega. I almost forgot, this also comes with a beauty ring for your ego devices. I received this Mega from an online vape shop called Vape Happy. This Clearo is selling on his site for $29.99. But the question is, do I think it's worth it? If Mike hadn't sent this to me for review, would I have purchased it? And the answer is, hell no. I have to admit though, when I first saw this, I was like, damn, this thing looks sick. And then I saw that it had those same bottom fed heads, just with a different bow tie on there. Basically the same crap. I saw that and I was like, nah, no thanks. Like I said, it looks awesome. It just doesn't vape awesome. They need to change those coil heads. I freaking keep saying that. It's like beating a dead horse. Do it already. Kanger, Aspire, and Oaken. Change it up. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.